Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of The Incredibles video game. Last time we managed to find Mr. Incredible in a level that was nowhere near as pain in the ass as Syndrome's base. These next two levels, however, can be. And we begin with 100 Mile Dash, our second and last Dash level. And I believe in the Game Boy Advance version this is the only Dash level, I think. So we've only done this one time before, and you saw how well I did in Late for School. So this is going to be fun, isn't it? Now I did make sure to I did actually wait just to make sure that this, because I did get this is a second-hand PS2 controller. So when I got this new controller, I did have to make sure it worked, and thankfully it did. So to make sure it worked, I practiced a few levels, starting with this one. I was nowhere near that bonus item, but what the hey. So I made sure to practice this, the next level, and Rocket Silo and the final boss. So the worst levels, I made sure to practice them. And I did absolutely terribly. Anyway, this level looks kind of familiar. You guys ever played Sonic Unleashed? It's pretty much the same sort of thing, only the boost is no longer limited by rings, it's limited by that meter. Then when you're running on water, this is the most boost you can get. Like, it only lasts a few seconds. You sort of have to mash the button. Well, not really mash, you have to time it. And then stuff like that can happen. See, whenever you get to those ramps, make sure you're boosting. Something you may not immediately know. There we've even got the falling pillars from the HD version of Sonic Unleashed. I know those were ruins, but come on, close enough. Only, you know, the frame rate is actually good here. Right, now this is the annoying part of the level. This part is very easy to get muddled in. So what you got to do first is you got to take the left path and just follow the loop. It will seem confusing at first, but once you know where you're going, which can be the problem. I mean, here it's pretty obvious. You can see the thing blowing up. That boulder nearly pushed me away. I'm surprised I didn't just die by hitting it. How did I miss that bonus item? I was closer to that one than I was to the last one. Yeah, so now we're back up here again, and now we're going in the opposite direction, and now you need to take the left path. Now, yeah, the terrain... Oh, come on. But that rock knocked me over. Okay. So now we got to do it again. Well, at least I get another chance at the bonus item. The amount of time you have left will change if you die. So it was rather inconsistent with that in Late for School. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. Here it always does. The problem is that sometimes when you respawn, the amount of time you have left is generally smaller than what it would be if you didn't respawn, especially on the last checkpoint, which is by far the worst part of the level. The ending to this level sucks because it's so confusing on where you gotta go. Very hard to see what's coming, what's what. I hate the last part of the level. He's clearly still running, and now all of a sudden he's not. You know, just everything is going by so fast, and it's all dark. A lot of it does all blend in anyway. So yeah, it's a bit of a difficulty spike compared to the last one, which itself wasn't the easiest thing in the world. But at least there you mainly just had to worry about the large cars. Here, it's everything. I think the only thing that surprisingly doesn't hurt you is the shots from the Velocipods. I don't think you can actually get damage from them. I've never seen myself get damage from them anyway. So, again, just mash the button to get that to work. Back onto the wall, so you have got to watch out for these things there. They can land right on top of you. Ooh, that's what I mean. Ooh, we have a boost and everything. So this is where Sega got the idea from. See, like that. That is where I was getting confused. Thinking I had to go right there because it looks like the top of the hill. But unfortunately, because of that, I now have less time than I would normally. And the timing in which Dash is going to change direction when he's running there is... it's really weird. I know there's a bonus item up there, but I can never see how you're supposed to get to it. I've never gotten that one. Right, this is the worst part of the level right here. This cave. At the end of this cave, we saw that we're not simply running back and forth between velocipods here, like in the film. This is much more confusing. So we can't hit any of those rocks. We can't hit any of these rocks. You can't push back on the analog stick to slow Dash down here. It is so hard to see where you're supposed to be going. Whoa! Oh my god. I don't think I've ever managed to do that part in one try. You didn't see how long it took me off during the practice. Wow, only 3 respawns as opposed to like 18 of them, I think the number was before. I really should actually practice the game, shouldn't I? The worst level in the game. Violet's Crossing. The only time we're playing is Violet.
Remember what Mom said? Stay hidden.
And let that line explain why I'm glad this is the only level we play as Violet. You gotta sneak past the henchman here. Press the triangle button to turn invisible. You can still make her out slightly. And these rocks are pretty much your safety. They only ever explore. They have set paths. Some of them, like that one, don't even move. But trying to get the timing right is a different matter, especially with this one right here. Trying to get the timing for this one in particular can be quite difficult. You have got to watch it. Now, don't. There's a little pathway there. Don't stop because there is a guard that tends to do that every single time. I really don't know how you avoid some of these bad guys. But as that made very clear, Violet dies in one hit. And honestly, it's not the machine guns that are the problem. It can simply just be a matter of getting close to them. Because if you get too close to them, they hear you and then they'll try and whack you with their guns. That also is a one-hit kill. Trying to get past this part is a nightmare. Because when Violet hits those leaves, they'll hear you. Okay, and in that particular case, I also got stuck.
I'm out of here.
So yeah, you've also got to try and avoid the leaves. There's only 16 enemies in this level. And you know, the level is really short. Like that little gateway there, that's the final checkpoint. It's a bit more space between here and the final checkpoint, but still, it's the final checkpoint. I wasn't even visible by that point. What happened there? Solid Snake wishes he could do this, but Solid Snake can also take multiple hits. I don't know how many hits, but I never really wanted to play Metal Gear Solid. I'm sure that the actual gameplay is fine, but when I have to sit through like, see that's it. I couldn't tell if that was him hitting me with the gun or the one firing the laser. But Metal Gear Solid has so many long cutscenes. With a story I really have no idea what's going on. So why should I bother? If there was ever a Metal Gear game I play, it would probably be Metal Gear 2. Not Metal Gear Solid 2, the Metal Gear 2, the MSX game. Unfortunately, the only way of doing that, I believe, is playing Metal Gear Solid 3. I was still invisible then, but he still knew I was there. Like, I know you're there, little miss. Disappear. Yeah, it really does look like that guy actually does shoot her underwater, because you can just about make out her silhouette. But apparently not, she's fine. See, what hit me there? I was nowhere near him and none of them fired. Am I hitting some sort of randomly placed... dead zone?
Back off.
Is my game now glitching out?
Super duper.
Because what happened there? It's going to be interesting watching the playback. Because at the moment I'm not seeing what's hurting me here. And the camera angle is terrible. It really is a terrible camera.
Hey, I'm out of here.
Like that! What the heck was that? I was invisible. He can't see me. Why is he shooting at me if I'm invisible? I tell you what, I hate this level, but that's a new one. That one doesn't normally happen. But now it's just happening constantly. This is new. I've never seen this one happen before.
Saw me?
Okay, in that case, yes, it made sense. I accidentally let go of the button.
See ya.
This level is such a difficulty spike.
Super duper.
It's a very short level, but it's such a pain
Back in action.
to get through.
No.
Can you get through this side? As long as I cross the checkpoint before they shoot me, I'm fine.
Whoa. Cool. Okay, stay calm.
We're still not done yet.
I'm outie.
So this checkpoint's a bit bigger.
This is not.
And of course you have to constantly wait for the meter to fill up. Now these guys are synchronized. They don't remain synchronized though. You do wish your meter went down a little.
Super duper.
Oh, so they can see me when I'm invisible, but that guy can't. That guy has tunnel vision. And even despite the fact he looks like he's going to see you, he won't. He stops right there. They don't just all think, oh, these rocks might be good hiding places.
Hey. See ya.
And they can be surprisingly accurate with these guns. And again, tunnel vision. Oi.
Bye.
There's a guard over there. I don't know what's over there. If there is anything over there, I don't care. You know what? There's no point of editing out these things because I know they're perfectly fine. If I can get away with including SpongeBob and Transformers sections, I don't know how strict Disney is. I'm playing a Disney game, aren't I? I've got the Pixar logo at the beginning of the LP. There is Syndrome. He is now officially in this game. As Syndrome, not just Incrediboy. Yeah, that's the worst level done and over with. I really hate that level, but thankfully we won't have to be playing as Violet like that ever again. Now, we go from what's easily the worst level in the game to what's probably the best level in the game. This is incredible, because for some reason that's what this is called. What was wrong with the name Force Field? I really don't know. But this level is fun, because you can just whack into enemies like that. Your Force Field, you still have health, which pretty much it just affects like how strong Violet is with holding the Force Field. And it is noticeable how as your health drains, she does get, like, her body gets noticeably lower. There's a nice attention to detail. And you just gotta hit things. From right up walls like that, giving you some health. And it's just, this is just so satisfying to do. I love doing this. And there are times, so there's a point near the end where you get infinitely respawning enemies, and I just love trying to take out as many as I possibly can. I've taken out like over 400 enemies here, which you can just go nuts. It just obviously your big issues are still gonna be those things. Luckily the checkpoint was right there. The timing for these things can be quite awkward, because of course you've also got quite a large hitbox, or in this case a hit ball. Like, what was that? I stopped there despite the fact the lasers hadn't even... The electricity hadn't even shown up yet. We never do get an explanation as to how she is doing this. Like, how are you doing that? I don't know. Whatever you do, don't stop. Woo. Luckily I managed to bounce my way there. Can't get that bonus item until the end of the level. We are sort of looping here. That doesn't drain your health in any way. For some reason. Now this is cool. It doesn't matter what speed you go. You'll always knock them into it. Yeah, we actually have a whole level based off of this part, even though it only lasts for like a few seconds in the actual movie. But I don't care. Right, so you constantly have these searchlights. They're pretty big, and what they do is it sends that out. It sends a laser beam, and the laser beam hurts. So don't hit the laser. This thing is really sensitive to corners. Let's try going for a different one first. There we go. Smack, smack, smackety smack. Give me a smack and I'll smack you back. I went right over it. But the force field's always as bouncy. You know, when Violet can do this, I can easily believe she could have put a force field around that plane. And that way we wouldn't have had to constantly listen to abort, abort, abort. Abort, abort, abort. It's like, shut up, Helen. This is India Golf 909 or whatever it is the plane is called. I like how it gives you access to health after you've taken, like after those things are down. I mean, you still want the health, but still. Right up these ramps, right up the ramps, right up the ramps. Okay. How did that not hurt them? I literally just bounced off their heads. It's like they were Goombas or something. They do it enough times. Can I not get a 1-up? No, you have no lives in this game. The Game Boy Advance version does. But that was also more like a 2D beat 'em up, which Syndrome is in. Better game. Instantly the better game. Maybe. I don't know. I've never played it. Same goes for Rise of the Underminer. It's a 2D beat 'em up, and there is there's a DS version of that as well, which I've seen maybe a few minutes of footage of. Oh, it looks bad. I could be wrong, but it really didn't look very good, and even by DS standards, that game looked ugly. Coming for that like 2.5D look. New Super Mario Bros. Before New Super Mario Bros. By the way, those lights we are activating there are completely optional. They're just to get that bonus item that we saw a moment ago. Not the one I said we'll be getting at the end of the level, a completely different one. Yeah, this is the level I was thinking of when I was going through finding Mr. Incredible. Don't hit those things, they are instant death. Now you can just about fit through that gap, because you are going to have to be quick here. Those things come back around very fast. Sadly, avoiding the second one is much harder, because you can't fit through that little gap. The gap is smaller on the second one. But even these things appear. Yeah, there are times where you do hit the enemies and stuff where you don't seem to destroy them for some reason. I would say it's a good thing they don't come up here, but that would be kind of unfair. But yeah, you can't fit through the gap here, so the timing for this one is much harder. And, you know, you gotta make sure you stay along it. Now, get off. So yeah, I've missed the other bonus room. I've missed the other bonus item, but I don't care. Here's the one that I was talking about at first. And now for my favourite part. Whack, whack. They'll just keep coming. You destroy this thing, by knocking enemies into it. And it is so satisfying. Surprisingly, it's very weak. It doesn't take many enemies. But I just love doing this. There we go. That's all you gotta do. They just keep coming. You can just smack them around. Whack. Smacky whack. Whatever. I'm not going to do that, however, and I'm not going to go for that bonus item. Let's just end this. There was a face. Wait, we just landed right back in the part of the level we were already in. Where were they a moment ago? And yeah, that's it. That concludes the best part of the game. Now we only have 3 levels left, but these next 2, oh boy, they are levels, alright. The first one isn't too bad, but the second one is my other most hated level in the game, and it's by far the longest. So I will see you guys then.